Many people are unaware that the border wall is not actually on the border. It varies between several hundred yards to around a mile away from the actual border between Mexico and the United States. When this border was created, the people that lived on the other side of the border were now faced with dealing with Border Patrol and gates and this wall every time they wanted to leave their homes or come back to them for their jobs, for their lives, to go shopping, to do things that every other American absolutely takes for granted. These are their stories. This project's been in the works for quite a while. The rhetoric on the campaign trail for president only made it even more topical. Many calls have been made, research has been done, but what really put me over the top with this was one day I was taking a little ride to one of my favorite places in the area, the Texas Sable Palm Sanctuary, and the 3 miles between the expressway and the sanctuary, I crossed 4 border wall crossings where it's just strange. It's intimidating. And it got me thinking, what's it like for the people that actually have to do this every single day, that live on the other side of the border wall? They're Americans. They live in America, but yet they have to cross a border to get to their own home. This is why I took this project much more seriously. This is the Sable Palm Sanctuary, easily one of my favorite places in the lower Rio Grande Valley where I live. It's natural, it's beautiful, it's a habitat for an abundance of really interesting wildlife, from birds you won't find anywhere else in the United States of America to wild cats that also you're not going to find anywhere north of Central America and Mexico. Jaguarundi, ocelots, you name it. There is just all kinds of wildlife because they're attracted to this natural, original style of habitat. The types of plants and of course the palm trees that you find in the Sable Palm Sanctuary were 125 years ago all up and down the plains of the Rio Grande River. These types of palms were systematically eradicated to make room for agriculture, cities to some degree, but primarily for farms and ranches and whatnot. But what you see in the sanctuary is what this area looked like 125, 130 years ago. I find it to be a very wonderful, magical place, a place where one can really center oneself. I know that sounds crazy, but the feeling that I get when I walk through the sanctuary and just the oneness with nature is something you just don't find. I mean, South Padre Island is great. It's a beautiful place. It's one of my favorite places too in the area, but it doesn't have that feeling of nature like you get at the Sable Palm Sanctuary. Of course, the reason why I bring it up is that the Sable Palm Sanctuary is one of many, many things you will find in this no man's land on the other side of the border wall, an area basically cut off from the rest of Texas and the rest of the United States.